Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Quick Tip. I'm Chris, and I'm here with Mike. And today we'll be talking about how to process bulk images in the hot folder in Ergosoft. So, Mike, let's say that I'm familiar with and already using the hot folder in Ergosoft. My shop's volume is increasing, and now I need to find a way to process even more files quickly. Let's walk through how you can use the new feature in Hot Folder to make that happen.
So I have the hot folder open here, as you can see. And if I go to edit the settings of my hot folder, I want to show you this new feature that we have. It's in the job section with all of your media settings. And there's a button here, a little checkbox that says print folder dropped on window as one job. What that means is if you have a folder, like an order folder with all of your images in it for that order, you can drop that whole folder onto your hot folder window and it will process that as a job and send it over. And I'll show you that in just a moment. I also have a image preset selected for this hot folder because I want all of my towels, which is what we're printing today, to come over as 20 by 30 inches. So I have a preset that makes them all 20 by 30 inches. So if I hit cancel and go back, this is my hot folder. This folder here, as you can see, is all my images that need to be part of my order. So if I take the whole folder and drag it over, it's going to process them. And it's going to use that preset that I showed you, 20 by 30, and it's going to make them all 20 by 30 inches. It's going to put them all nice and nested together, and it's going to send it over as one job, which you can actually see up here now in the print queue. You have order towels, right? And so it gives it the name of your folder, and then you can see them all in the bottom right corner here.
That's great. And what can I use to make sure that I don't start printing too soon? Is there any feature that I can select that allows me to determine when the printing process actually starts?
Yes, in the hot folder settings, if I go back in there in your job, on the bottom here, you have all of your options for printing. So you could suspend printing. And then what that would do is when it goes to your print queue, which is right here, when it goes to your print queue, instead of saying waiting, it would say suspended like that. So then if you have other stuff printing, maybe you have 5 other jobs printing, you could send over all of these jobs and they would come over suspended so they wouldn't interfere with your normal production.
Perfect. So that will allow me to have everything in a print queue already ripped and awaiting manual release.
Correct.
Very good. And so, how do I determine when the actual ripping process starts?
Well, that starts when the job is processed. So as soon as the hot folder creates the job, it's going to start. You actually do have an option, once again, in the settings for the hot folder. You actually can suspend rip right here, which would suspend the ripping. So then you would have to unsuspend the job and then it would start ripping. So once again, if you have 4 rip engines open and you're ripping 300 jobs right now that you need for today, you might not want these to rip and interfere with it. So you could suspend the rip from the hot folder. And then once all of your ripping is done for that day, then you could unsuspend all of these jobs and then they would start ripping.
Great. Okay, so let's say I'm processing folders now. I'm taking entire order folders and pulling them into the hot folder. What are some scenarios that I'd be able to use the triggers for?
Okay. Yes, the triggers are in the hot folder settings again. So all of these triggers here, this is what you're talking about. You have 4 different options basically. So you can print all of your images at one time during the day, 8 p.m., 4 a.m., whatever you want to do. Or you can have it do at a certain length, maybe 100 inches or 500 inches or whatever. So when the job exceeds that length, it will print. Or after a certain amount of time, maybe 10 minutes after the first image comes in. That way you have a steady flow of jobs coming in. And if the number of images is reached on the bottom, so let's say you want each job to have 25 images on it, you could do that. So then every 25 images that comes in, it would send over a job. But if you're using the folder method where you drag the whole folder, it's going to put the whole folder in one job and it's going to send that as one job.
Ah, I see.
So it's
Very
not
nice.
split up. Yeah. So then you have All your whole order is in one job and it's ready there for you.
Okay, great. So to review, we can batch files in Windows folders. And then when that folder is ready to go, you take the whole thing, drag it into the hot folder. And if you want to wait until you print, you can suspend it or have it show up in the queue as suspended. And then you're off to the races.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, very exciting stuff, Mike. Thank you very much. And thanks for watching, everyone. Please contact us if you have any questions.